Hello and welcome to another match from the Sakura Spring Championship in the Shogun 2 section. This is a best of 3 played between PrussianPrince in the black banners and Noobie in the orange banners. From the lower bracket, round 4, the map is Uzui Pass, which was picked by Noobie. And before both players obviously started out on the upper bracket, PrussianPrince having been defeated by C4 by 2-1, which you can see on my channel already, and Noobie having been defeated by myself, also 2-1, which you can also see as a live battle on my channel. And in the battle where I lost to Noobie, he also picked Uzui Pass against me and had a really nice strategy with Hanzo's Shadow with the 200 range bow general, and yeah, just a really nicely executed plan. I recommend you to watch that video from before. And I do expect that Noobie has brought something similar, but since this replay is from PrussianPrince's perspective, we do not see the full army yet. I expect some ninjas to pop up here very soon. So this is obviously a very heavy rush map. We do have a farmhouse on PrussianPrince's left side, an archery dojo in the center, and a workshop on the right side. So no shrine, no sword dojo, which makes the dojos overall less interesting here. PrussianPrince has brought a command general with bow enabled. Very little calf for this map. Usually players go for heavy calf setups, but he went the opposite direction. He has only brought 2 light calves on the left, 2 light calves on the right, and then a very strong infantry core, Yari Sams, rank 6, rank 4, Naginata warrior monks, 4 of them on rank 6, another Yari Sam rank 6, a bulletproof Sam rank 6, lots of sword attendants. He is obviously content with giving Noobie the hill, probably expecting the ninjas to pop up here soon, so he didn't bother at all with cavalry and just went straight for the infantry counter, which I think is a good idea. Kind of risky to give up map control because you will end up having lots of uphill battles, I think, although this area seems relatively small. Even, not small, even. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this pans out. And he also has got a Matchlock Warrior Monk rank 5. So 1 Matchlock, always nice to have, especially when you're up against, or expect to be up against a hero unit like a Hanzo Shadow, then Matchlocks are the obvious counter. Then let's have a look at Noobie's army, or at least the part of the army that we can see right now. So Yari Calf rank 4, Yari Calf rank 4, Light Calf, Yari Calf rank 4, Yari Calf rank 6, Light Calf, and his bow general. So the idea of the bow general, the way I understood it and the way he played it against me, is that basically while the ninja units and the superior calf forces pin down the opponent, he micros his bow general in the background to snipe the most important enemy unit, which in my case was my own general, which I noticed much too late, but it could be any unit really. So when you're really busy microing or trying to counter the ninjas, then it's easy to forget about a bow general sniping your most important unit. So now we see the first ninjas pop up. 1, 2, 3 ninjas all on rank 6 with, I mean, they've been boosted by retainers obviously as well. 31 attack, super strong. 4 Kishu ninjas rank 6, and the Waco Raider with Banzai. No Hanzo Shadow so far. Maybe we'll see it later, but I'm not sure if he has the money left for that. But let's see, some nice charges here. Kishu Ninja going into the Yari Sams. Here we have, oh, there's the Hanzo Shadow. Never mind. So it's here as well. Here we have Kishu Ninjas against Bulletproofs. Also very nice. Kishu Ninjas, I think the charge was blocked by Sword Attendants. Now Naginata Warrior Monks fighting it out, and here also into the Yari Sams. All very decent charges, but in all honesty, they really need to be decent because Prussian Prince has so much infantry, and I think over the long term, I think he can tank it out much more than I certainly could with my army that had much more cavalry when I played him. So let's see. Light Cav obviously being more reactive. Let's see where he put it. Two of the Light Cavs are still hidden actually, so they will come into play much later. And yeah, some cycle charges, hammer and anvil tactics by Noobie. This is super confusing to cast. I think, yeah, Prussian Prince's General now going into stand and fight, which massively boosts the left flank, where it looks much more favorable to him than the right side, which is in danger of mass routing. Naginata Warrior Monks, 108 men, already wavering. That's not something you want to see. Same with the Yari Sams. Yeah, when you have two heavy calves in the back cycle charging you, you're not going to have a good time, obviously. Let's have a look at the Hanzo Shadow. Yeah, I think Prussian Prince really needs to save this matchlock to kill off the Hanzo Shadow later, because they're just going to massacre here. They even upgraded on rank 8, which I didn't notice. So these Naginata Warrior Monks are just going to die. And yeah, I think... I mean, there's the two light calves still not discovered, and I think one of these, if he reacts in time, could get a really nice charge on this. Oh no, it's actually, he's just kind of running into it. So this would have been a great opportunity for Prussian Prince to really damage the Yari calf. The Matchlock Warrior Monks got somewhat charged here. Not a clean charge by the Yari calf. I think it got blocked by the stand and fight general, which is also being targeted by Noobie's bow general. Which is something he really has to keep an eye on here. Because, oh, now it actually died. So Prussian Prince's general is dead. Most of his units are high level, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference here. But it's obviously not ideal for him here. Let's see, dojo control. Workshop is about to be captured by Noobie, furthering his advantage when it comes to the melee stats. But surprisingly, there's not too much cavalry left from Noobie's side here, given how much he started with. So I think, yeah, he lost a lot of cav in the constant charges and pulling back and charging in again. So he has a Yari cav, 37 men, and a Yari cav, 22 men, and one light cav, versus one still undiscovered light cav from Prussian Prince. So the cav advantage for Noobie is negligible. Kind of the problem for Prussian Prince is that he really needs this light cav to kill off Noobie's bow general, because without a cav you're kind of screwed in the late game. Oh, and there's the other light cav from Prussian Prince is still alive, but in the process of dying.
Hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
Waco Raiders on 80 kills. It actually seems a little low considering it's a level 9 Waco Raider. And I think now the last ninja unit is about to die off, which leaves Noobie's entire infantry contingent reliant upon a Hanzo Shadow and a Waco Raider against Nagi Warrior Monk, Yari Sam, Bulletproof Sam, catching the Yari Calf. This is yeah, devastating mismicro from Noobie. This shouldn't happen really. And there's another Naginata Warrior Monk coming in the back, going for the reach around. So yeah, this is it's really tough for Noobie here, because if I was in his place here, I would try to get both of my depleted calves. Okay, sorry, I was interrupted here for a moment. So what I was about to say, I think from Noobie's perspective, he should in my opinion, focus on using these two remaining depleted calves to really hunt down this Matchlock Warrior Monk, because it is the #1 threat for the Hanzo Shadow, which really has to buy him enough time against all these melee units from Prussian Prince to enable his bow general to keep firing. And the bow general already lost 9 men. I didn't see where that happened. Obviously decreases the firing power now. And in theory, there is an archery dojo on the map, which should enable Noobie to replenish ammunition. But given how many units there are still on the battlefield for Prussian Prince, he could easily, in the late game, just sit on the archery dojo and block it. And then it's really a question of has Noobie got enough ammunition to kill off the MVP units or the high value units here on the battlefield. I mean, aside from this bulletproof, which could be a real problem, 93 men, most of these units are low armor, which is good news for the Bojan, and it's still only on 51 kills, so it shouldn't have used up too much ammunition. But I think a lot of that ammo was used up also in the early game to shoot at the general, which obviously doesn't generate that many kills, so it could be deceiving. But now, I mean, the Hanzo Shadows are going to destroy so hard here. They could even kill this Naginata Warrior Monk that's charging it in the back. I think the Hanzo Shadow would still win here. But with this light calf now appearing on the battlefield, which was hidden before, I think now it's lights out for Noobie and for the general, because yeah, now it's completely unprotected from cavalry, and even if he were to use up all his ammunition now, I think this is yeah, borderline impossible now for him.
A glorious victory will soon be yours.
And yeah, yeah, that was rather quick in the end. I thought we might get to see a more drawn-out end game, but I think some of the calf micro by Noobie in the end really cost him the chance for the comeback. I think I still really like the strategy by Noobie, but I think he's played it in every single game before, or in every single matchup in the tournament before. So Prussian Prince kind of knew like what to expect. And I think the heavy infantry setup with only 4 light calves was a really decent counter. And he only he moved up really slowly, kind of expecting the ninjas to appear in any second, which is which puts him in a much different frame of mind than if you weren't expecting them, and if you were to try to reach the top of the hill as fast as possible. Obviously, some of his units just got absolutely destroyed, and you can't really do too much about that. Nagi Warrior Monks only 40 kills, Yari Sams rank 6 only 40 kills. Yeah, some sacrifices had to be made on Prussian Prince's right flank. Yeah, but the left side was never really in danger here. Even though I think, I mean, my first impression was that all of the Kishu ninjas got a really good charge off, but even here, 50 kills, 37 kills, that's not too much. I would have expected much more for a unit with 31 attack. Let's see what the Shogun Warrior Monks did. Not too much either, 43, but they were still alive in the end, and they kept being a threat, kind of. Perhaps forced Noobie to change his approach a little bit. I think it's always nice to have one matchlock in the builds, no matter what you're doing. It makes you so much more, I think, flexible tactically. So really nice approach by Prussian Prince, nicely played. It looked really messy in the beginning. So for example, I can't really say too much about how Noobie's calf was used early on, because it was kind of just a huge blob. But yeah, it was a really nice game, and I think Prussian Prince showcased a way of countering the tactic used by Noobie. So this makes it 1-0, and I'll hop straight into battle number 2. And we're back on rice fields, which was picked by Prussian Prince. And I already see a very large army with loads of Ashigaru. Dojo-wise, we do have a sword dojo, a farmhouse, and a shrine. What's always nice to see is that sword dojo and shrine are on the various ends, so it forces you to kind of make a decision or to split your army. With the least important dojo in the center. General-wise, Prussian Prince has an unchanged command gen with bow enabled. Then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Yari Ashigaru, but one of them is a long Yari, so he's within the limits. Most of them vetted up between rank 5 and rank 6. A couple sword attendants as well as a matchlock Ashigaru rank 5. A bow warrior monk 200 range. Another matchlock Ash rank 5. A Daikyu samurai 200 range. So he really went super hard on the skirmishes here. Naginata warrior monks rank 2. 1, 2, 3 of those. Really interesting setup. Given that this replay has been sent in by him, we can safely say that there's literally 0 calf this time. And yeah, not something you expect from a player like Prussian Prince, but maybe that's why he chose to bring it, or to just maybe play around with it a little bit. He was defeated before in the tournament in a battle on Rice Field where his opponent C4 played with a huge blob of infantry, and maybe he's trying to do the same here, although the build is still, I think, slightly different. I'd have to go back to that. Looks like Prussian Prince is going for the forest position here, which is something that I would recommend. Always go for the forest protection if you can, which would enable him to lock down the shrine, but also gives Noobie the free sword dojo. Something to keep in mind. Let's see. Noobie has changed his general, so he went for a full command gen now. And he has brought some calf, at least. Yari calf rank 4, 2 of those. 3 of those. Could be more hidden, we don't know that yet. And then 1, 2, 3 matchlocks, all Ashigaru rank 5, so similarly vetted as Prussian Princes. Then he also has an Ashigaru core, 1, 2, 3, 4 Ashigaru, but vanilla, and 1, 2, 3, 4 lone swords with Banzai. So obvious advantage in the melee contingent for Noobie. And long Yari Ash rank 5 in the back. I don't know why it would be that far in the back. Maybe he forgot about it. We'll have to see. But from Noobie's perspective, when you see an army like that, you kind of want to disrupt him setting up, because you know, once the box is built and once he's getting comfortable, you're gonna have a problem gaining access, or you're gonna have a problem finding an opening for a cavalry, and also your swords, especially when there's going to be a spear wall here. It looks like Prussian Prince is trying to close the gap between the shrine and the farmhouse with a continuous spear wall.
Our general is in
But
grave danger,
I'm
my lord.
not sure that this is the right way to go about it from Prussian Prince's perspective. There's really no reason for these Yariash in the center to really eat the bullet here. I think, especially with the support from these two 200 range bows, he can afford to send his matchlock Ash in the front and just fight it out. Even if Noobie would get the first volley with the support of the bows, I think Prussian Prince can be very comfortable here. And now it just he's just slowly sacrificing his front line of spears, which is supposed to be his main protection for his bows. So I don't know why he decided to leave his matchlock Ash kind of as a backup. Same with these matchlock warrior monks, which I'm not sure if I mentioned them before, but he also has matchlock warrior monks. kind of blocking his own line of sight, and yeah, these Yari Ash are paying the price for it. Some calf engagement here from Noobie. Got into the Matchlock Ash, it seems. It looks like he's putting through, but I think that's only because PrussianPrince is putting back the Matchlock Ash, and the Yarkev is just following them in the animation. So nothing, no foul play here, I think. And yeah, I mean, usually I would say this is kind of bleak when it comes to the frontal engagement from Noobie's perspective, but with these weakened Yari Ash, you can afford to just charge in frontally with the Lone Swords. Obviously, can power through with Banzai in the long term. Whether it's cost efficient or not is another question, but they can definitely break through here. And what does PrussianPrince do then? I'm not sure he has the capabilities of countering it. But let's see, on the right side, looks like Lone Swords are getting into a kerfuffle with Sword Attendants, Nagi Warrior Monks. This should be a comfortable engagement for Noobie. And the more units are busy and entangled in various melee fights, the higher the chance for Noobie to find some excess in the back to squeeze his cavalry through, which would be the neckbreaker for PrussianPrince. I think Noobie should think about going into stand and fight here as well. Yeah, he's doing it just in the right time. And now the Naginata Warrior Monks in the back for PrussianPrince that are supposed to protect his high-value bow units from the roaming cavalry are kind of needed in the center to bolster the Yariash spearball. And yeah, the cover is just getting thinner and thinner. And I think you can just judging from this development, you can kind of see where this is going, and it's not going to be too pretty for PrussianPrince. Let's see if the bows manage to rack up some kills. Warrior Monks obviously with a much higher reload than the Daikyo's managed to rack up 120. The Daikyo's in the forest, which kind of blocks their own arrows somewhat, with only 18, and that's really, yeah, obviously not cost efficient. I wonder if they're getting blocked by the horses from the Avatar. It looks like only these three guys here in the back are actually firing arrows. Looks kind of weird. Let's go to normal speed. Yeah, I think these are mismicroed. Yeah, expensive unit to mismicro. And the Matchlock Warrior Monks are now kind of finding an opening here. They could get some nice flanking shots into these Lone Swords. Now they're targeting the Matchlock Ash, but I think the Lone Swords are the much better target. And I again made a little cut here in the replay just in time for the neck-breaking backcharge from the Yarkev on these Matchlock Ash. Right afterwards, the path is open to these Daikyus and Bow Warrior Monks. Lone Sword still somewhat healthy, you could say. 90 men here, 70 men here. Obviously boosted by the Sword Dojo on 20 melee attack. Really no chance for the Yariash to hold them off for the entirety of the battle. Only the long Yariash from PrussianPrince still standing on 70 kills. And it looks like Noobie did indeed forget about his long Yaris, which haven't moved since the beginning of the battle. Turns out he didn't need them actually here.
Our men are running from
This
the
was yeah, quite a comfortable battle for him, and yeah, I think this could be classified as an experiment gone wrong from PrussianPrince, who obviously, as a player with fantastic micro, can afford or can handle like traditional 8 calf setups that are really micro intensive. So it's interesting to see players like that opt for the complete opposite and try to build an infantry box. Yeah, I think he was also a bit unlucky that and Noobie went with a build with 4 matchlocks, which can be quite annoying. But I think still, had he put his own matchlocks in the front line instead of the Yari Ash and absorbed some of the earlier skirmish while the bows acted as support units, then I think he could have fared much better here and could have made the battle much closer and perhaps even win it. Let's see, Naginata War Monks obviously only on rank 2, so they're not even gonna damage the lone swords too much in a head-to-head. So yeah, he really had no units in a setup that could really defeat the lone swords, and this made him more dependent on the bows performing well, which this Daikyu obviously did not do. But yeah, I think that's all to be said about this one. Still very interesting to see. I think very classic approach by Noobie. No special strat this time, just yeah, bread and butter, Ashigaru build, matchlock, Yari Ash, lone swords, couple calves here and there, and that was it. And yeah, sometimes the simplicity does win out, so this equals the score, it makes it 1-1, and we'll see a tiebreaker match where I'll get straight into. And the tiebreaker map is Happo Ridge. So since it's tiebreaker, there's obviously no attacker-defender distinction here. And dojo-wise, we do have a sword dojo, a workshop, and an archery dojo. And now we see loads of calf for the first time from PrussianPrince, who has brought Yari calf, rank 2, 3 of those. Then he has a fire calf rank 6, and 1, 2, 3 light calf. Then he has a core of Nodachi, so he really went old school here. 4 Nodachi rank 2. On the left side, a Matchlock Sam with some Nagi protection. In the center, a Matchlock Warrior Monk rank 5. And also a Waco Raider rank 6 going for the workshop in the center. His general is an unchanged command and Boneable Gen. Noobie also has a Waco Raider, which we saw before in Uzui Pass on rank 9, so somewhat stronger. Also going for the workshop. Maybe we'll see an interesting early engagement here. And then, from what we can see so far, he has maybe not as strong of a calf contingent as PrussianPrince, but definitely a strong one. So Yari calf rank 4, 2 of those with a light calf. And a Yari calf rank 4 with 2 light calves, paired with a Bushido general this time, interestingly. So he has had a different general in each battle so far, which is nice to see, a little bit of variety. But the problem is we don't see too much of the rest. Only Nodachi rank 0, and the sword attendant. The rest remaining hidden. But I do suspect that we're not going to see a big army, at least not a lot of Ashigaru, because that kind of doesn't make sense in combination with the Bushido general. But I'm still curious, because I mean, does he really go for ninjas here again? Because where else would his army hide, to be honest? I think we might see ninjas again, but we'll see. He really has to be careful here that he... Ooh, I think the Waco Raiders rank 9 are going to get frontal charged by the light calf, and that's going to be a super cost-efficient light calf. Here we've seen early blob, Yari calf against Yari calf. Oh yeah, and now we see the ninjas. So they're kind of well-timed in the sense that they support the calf fight earlier than PrussianPrince can support the calf fight with his Nagi attendants, but they're not as well-timed in the sense that they get a clean charge, which they're not because they're charging in the back of their own calf. But yeah, 2 Kish ninjas, both on the rank 6, once again. 33 attack. Interesting. And here, again, 2 more ninjas, both on rank 6. Now this could get interesting, because one is heading straight for the Matchlock Samurai, So this could be either a huge win in the sense that he gets a clean charge, or Prussian Prince could react just in time and get a volley off, and that would be devastating. I think the other Kisho Ninja might be blocked off by the Nagi attendants if he doesn't micro them properly. But other than that, they will have a one-on-one with the Nodachi. And again, if the Nodachi reacts in time, I think the Nodachi is fine. If not, yeah, that's a bonus for these ninjas. But they really need to be supported by these 3 calves so that they don't get flanking charged by the Yari calf. And I think these Nodachi are a bit far behind for my taste. Obviously, Sword Dojo should be a priority. These sword attendants need to be going down there. I think that's a good idea. Obviously, the battle could be over really quickly, going in either direction. So maybe he doesn't even have enough time to cap the Sword Dojo and have it have an effect. But still, I think sending an attendant would be a good idea here. But other than that, again, Kisho Ninja Core versus Nodachi Core, and the element of surprise isn't as big as it could be on Uzui Pass. So I really struggle to see how he's planning to defeat these Nodachi. But let's see. I think the most interesting thing is this area right here now. Let's see if Prussian Prince reacts in time. He's given a movement order, but no attack. Now he's given an attack order. Let's see. Oh, and he pulled them back. I think he could have gotten a shot off, but still a good decision to pull them back. Now they're getting blocked by the Nagi attendants and flanking charged by the Nodachi. And yeah, the Metrux Sams are going to take a little bit of damage, but they're going to be fine, and they can still fire later. And these... Oh, there's still, again, a Hanzo Shadow. These Kisho Ninja and the Hanzo Shadow got interrupted. So nicely microed by Prussian Prince. These charges by Noobie's calf and especially Bushido Gen are going to do lots of damage. But I think so far Prussian Prince has reacted excellently to these surprise attacks. And look at what he has here in the center. That's still kind of free to move and pick and choose where they want to go in. There's full strength, rank 6 fire calf. There's still 2 free Nodachi. Now Waco Raider against Waco Raider going in. And of course still this Matchlock Warrior Monk, which if it turns right, I mean terrain isn't perfect, but if it turns to the right, I think it's gonna have a decent volley on these calves and Kisho Ninja coming from Noobie's left side, which is the side which is looking rather good here because Prussian Prince only had a couple calves and Nagi attendants there, and now both players trying to bolster up this flank with cavalry. Fire calf going to destroy this light calf. Again, Nodachi coming in a little bit too late. But the Hanzo Shadow are going to do fine. And I think because the Hanzo Shadows are going to do fine, I think you can afford to just pull out the rest. Just let these Hanzo Shadow tie down this Nodachi and yeah, try to find other targets. Because they don't really need support. Maybe he could use this Bushido General to wrap around and try to kill off the Fire Calf, which is a big threat. And of course this Nodachi coming in late could perhaps tie down this Nodachi. That's kind of what I would do probably in this situation. I think putting back the Bushido General is a bad idea because he needs to keep up the momentum. He needs to keep up the pressure. Otherwise, the numbers game is very much in favor of Prussian Prince. I think this Light Calf got a really nice charge into the Hanzo Shadow, but I mean, they probably killed a few men. But it's really hard to kill Hanzo Shadow, even on a charge. They're just so tough. So on the other side, from Prussian Prince's perspective, I think the Kisho Ninjas got in relatively clean without being harmed by the Matchlock Warrior Monk, but they got some nice shots onto the Yari Calf, which is idle at the moment. So I think Noobie needs to be a little bit quicker here in his reaction. Lost one Yari Calf now to the Matchlocks. One more Yari Calf coming in from the flank, but PrussianPrince is kind of still able to defend every flank with the 50-man Yari Calf and the Light Calf. His general very comfortable in stand and fight. Obviously, he's not going to die too quickly, so I think he can just take the charge from the Yari Calf and be fine. Could even think about turning around this Matchlock and just shooting this Yari Calf.
Shameful display.
And again, 2 Nodachi against 2 Kishu Ninja. In the long haul, the Nodachi are going to win that fight.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
And the Sword Dojo is now in control of Noobie. So now, hold on. Why do they have? Didn't they have 33? Oh, it's because they they had more attack before because they popped their ability. So that's why I was confused for a moment. But still, 30 attack against 22 attack. Only thing in Noobie's disadvantage really here is the numbers game. Kishu Ninjas just don't have enough men in their unit to tank it out against the Nodachis. This could be a really nice charge from Noobie. He really needs to get into this Matchlock Warrior Monk, which is a big threat for him. The charge is a little bit awkward, kind of a sideways charge, so only like a fifth of the calf gets full contact. Here we finally see Fire Calf against Noobie's general, but it looks like the charge got kind of interrupted. Like the animation was weird. It looked like Noobie's general just got stuck somehow. Now getting supported by the Hanzo Shadow, but I do fear with the Fire Calf and the Avatar from PrussianPrince could actually kill off this Bushido gen. And then that's kind of the last remaining asset for him gone. And the Light Calf are not even going to be able to kill off the Matchlock Warrior Monks for good. So PrussianPrince will still have a full Matchlock, or not full Matchlock, but he still will have a Matchlock on the battlefield in the end. 2 even with this Matchlock Samurai, which if it could get a volley on the Bushido gen would be devastating. I think Noobie senses the danger and tries to counter it. Already 100 kills, but yeah, I think there's just not enough men left in Noobie's Bushido general unit to turn this around, I think. Still 39 men, Light Calf from PrussianPrince, and now the numbers are just dwindling. Forgot about the sword attendants here, but it's not like they would have made a difference, to be honest. But overall, very cool from Noobie that he decided to go for the high risk approach yet again. It didn't pan out this time, lost both times. He went for the ninja build and won the battle where he went for the more conservative one, but still kudos for trying. And it was actually well coordinated once again. Like, it's really difficult to make ninja charges work and to time them right. It didn't work ideally, but it's still like it could get so much worse with ninjas. Sometimes you just get shot down by matchlocks before you can even do anything, and then it's kind of already lost. Or you can get a full-on clean counter charge by a heavy calf, and then you're also kind of screwed. Yes, I think this was still well played by Noobie, even though it was an uphill battle. And obviously, nice reaction also by PrussianPrince, who I don't know if he saw it coming here on this map, probably not. So it was kind of less obvious than it was on Usui Pass. And once again, I think just having matchlocks in your builds kind of worth it again. So yeah, congratulations to PrussianPrince, who moves on to lower bracket. I guess it's round 5. I'm not sure. And also a big thank you to Noobie for participating in the tournament. Hope to see him again in future tourneys. And yeah, I'll see you soon in some other replay casts that are still in my replay folder. Still a huge backlog there to work on. And yeah, see you then. And thank you for watching.